Okay, we're gonna try this again. Hi everyone, I am Destiny Black, a D1 at Meharry Medical College, School of Dentistry, a part of the class of 2024 that started in the middle of a pandemic that changed dental school for us in a variety of ways, but which is also part of the reason why you're here. A lot of you are here because you saw my white coat ceremony picture that went viral and was asking me questions in my DM on Instagram and Twitter. And so the best way for me to answer those questions for you is to create this video. So that's why we're here. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah. So first, I would like to start by saying thank you on behalf of my class and I for your continuous love and support throughout this journey. We are forever grateful and appreciative that you have taken the time to repost, share, like, comment, everything you've done. We are very grateful. So let's just get right into it. The first question you all want to know is, who am I and where am I from? That's easy. I am Destiny Black. I am originally from Charlotte, North Carolina. I attended school at Winston-Salem State University and I majored in biology, graduated with a 3.49 GPA. Throughout my time there, I attended summer internships and programs, did research, had jobs on the side, as well as did volunteer shadowing and held leadership positions. So we'll go ahead and get started with that, and I'll just start from my freshman year up until after I graduated, because I was still doing stuff. I didn't go right into dental school. I did have a gap year. So I'll give you all of what I've done throughout that time to get to where I am today. And basically everything that I have done came full circle, believe it or not. It has all gotten me to this point. So whether you think it's a minute detail or not, I'm still going to tell you because it's what strengthened who I am in my application for dental school. So let's get started. So my freshman year of college, I always knew that I wanted to be a dentist. I just wasn't sure of the pathway to get there, right? And wasn't sure still throughout my freshman year. I just knew I needed to major in biology or chemistry, or so they told me. What they didn't tell me was that I could major in education, which is what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to be a dentist too because I wanted to be open to the idea of being a professor, or I didn't know. I always knew I wanted to be a dentist though, so I could be a dentist and a professor, you know. But that's neither here nor there. But anyways, you can major in art and music or whatever, as long as you take the necessary courses, maybe like organic chemistry with the lab, 1 and 2, general chemistry, biology. You take those courses, the courses that's required, which is indicated on each school's website, you would be fine. And I didn't know that. So that's me telling you this so that you can expand your horizon, and maybe you want to do business, so you can major in business and then just take the science courses. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. Nobody told me that, so I'm telling you. So again, majored in biology freshman year, just basically took the classes. I was on a full merit scholarship, which required me to do research and of course volunteer. The research that I did to study like biotin, which is the molecule you need for hair, skin, and nails, and we researched like the structure, conformation, so like chair twists, just to see which one would yield the best product. That was throughout my freshman year, like semester, fall and spring semester. So then summer came, didn't have anything to do, wasn't really sure of everything that I needed to do in order to get into dental school, so I was just going with the flow. Went home and got a job at a behavioral health hospital. It introduced me to a different side that doesn't get a lot of recognition, or well, at that time I felt like, because it wasn't around me. Working there really gave me insights on how mental health facilities work and different individuals and how addiction affects them and their families. Again, worked there the summer after my freshman year. So came back to school in my sophomore year, again did the same thing. I did a pageant. This is me opening up, just getting out to experience Winston-Salem State University for all that it offers. So I did a pageant and more community service, joined CAB, which is Campus Activities Boards, and I probably forget like some of the things I joined, but just know I was involved. So I did that. After the sophomore year, I went to my first summer internship program thanks to Dr. Yee. I applied and he wrote the recommendations for me. That was the professor that actually I did my research with during my sophomore year, and he introduced me to that program. SHPEP was at the University of Florida. and that's the Summer Health Professions Education or Enrichment Program. I'll indicate it under the video so you all can do your own research, of course. But that program was geared for individuals that knew they wanted to be in healthcare, but maybe didn't know which field they wanted to focus on. So there were people that wanted to be nurse practitioners, physicians, dentists, pharmacists, veterinarians, you name it. And basically every week we were in class, but we were also doing activities geared towards our desired profession. So mine was dentistry, and that was the first time that I've ever drilled on teeth, and we made dentures and impressions. We did so much in the program. It was so fun and a very memorable experience. It definitely solidified for me that dentistry is where I wanted to be. So if you're not sure of where you want to be in the healthcare field, I would definitely suggest that. So after that, I went back to school, junior year, more community service, more shadowing, more volunteering. I shadowed throughout my entire journey with my own dentist at in Charlotte, North Carolina, and so I would go whenever we have like Christmas breaks, because I believe we get like 2 or 3 weeks off or something like that. I would just sprinkle in and go like, hey, I have a day off here, can I come? Or hey, I have a week off, can I come for a week straight? And I would just do that, wear scrubs and just sit there and observe. You could take notes if you'd like, ask questions. A lot of the patients were very welcoming and were excited that I was in the room with them and they wanted to talk. When you shadow, just be attentive and inviting, because you garner up like conversation, and that is what you take away from you. You learn about people's experiences, you learn how a dentist office operates and things of that sort. So just be attentive to everything that's going on, like as a whole. I believe that I also applied for dental school maybe like during the summer after my junior year. Not really sure how that worked, but I do know that I attended the UNC Chapel Hill SCP program, which was the Science Enrichment Program, and basically we took classes that we were going to take the next year in order to prepare us for those, as well as we received a Kaplan course for free, and this was a stipend was rewarded during this time as well. In my senior year, when I believe I didn't get accepted, the results came back in my fall semester of my senior year, and I knew then that I didn't get accepted. I had got waitlisted for schools that I applied to, and the schools that I applied to were the schools that I did programs at, and the ones in my home state. So I got waitlisted for I think 2 schools and didn't get accepted. Just knew I was going to go ahead and apply. I wasn't going to be the one to take a gap year just because I wanted to be forced to take one, because if I can go to dental school and get it right out the way, let's do it. So my senior year didn't get accepted, and after that summer I waited and just wanted to, I forgot to tell y'all, I took the DAT. So I took the DAT my junior year, got a 17. That was with the help of Kaplan. So then my senior year, fast forward back to word at that time, took the DAT again, and this time I used DAT Bootcamp, and I participated in a summer program, UMKC STAR, STAHR program, and that was a 2-week process, and they afforded us different classes for the science portion to increase our score. So that with DAT Bootcamp helped increase my organic chemistry score alone to be to go up 3 points. I think it was 3 points. Don't quote me, but it was something like that. It was like, whoa, okay. I did get a stipend for that program as well, and I applied for dental school after I took the DAT that year. So as I was applying for dental school, I was also looking for jobs. Got a job working as a customer service representative, enrolling individuals and families into insurance, their healthcare insurance, which was really eye-opening for me as well, because I was able to see how individuals were affected by the price of insurance, the coverage of insurance for regular medical, dental, and vision. It was helpful in showing me how insurance worked. Being that I've been on my mom's insurance my entire life, like I wasn't really knowledgeable on that, and so I'm glad that I had the opportunity to be a customer service representative, to be able to learn that. Again, everything I've done got me to this point, so although it may seem minute, it leads up to the bigger picture. So I did that and applied for dental school, and I got accepted to Meharry Medical College. I got waitlisted again for some other schools, and then turned down interviews at other schools, because I already knew, like, if I got accepted to Meharry, I ain't going I wasn't going nowhere else, because when I visited Meharry for my interview, it felt like home. It reminded me of my family, which is what we call Winston-Salem State, our family. It reminded me of that atmosphere, and so of course that's why I wanted to be, because that's where I felt most welcomed and invited at. So got accepted, paid for my spots, and boom, we moving to Nashville, baby. Someone asked, how long did I shadow for? I believe I shadowed for it was over 100 hours, anywhere between 100 and 200. Documented, probably like 140. Undocumented, I don't know, because I didn't start documenting until I realized that schools wanted to have over 100 hours. Did that community service hours. I had to have 15 a semester for my scholarship, but I passed that. So I at least had 15 each semester for community service. Something that I left out was my desire. So I want to serve the underserved populations, because that's where I'm from, and the community that I'm involved in. But I also want to do cosmetic dentistry. So, you know, you possibly do both, possibly can't. We gonna see, because that's, you know, I'm figure it out. But so that's what I want to do. So of course a lot of my community service was involved with helping the underserved community. So that was like serving at the Ronald McDonald House, cooking for families, cleaning for them, cleaning up their like apartments, and vacuuming and doing whatever. That was Adopt a Street, go clean up a street that was, you know, really bad, like badly trashed in the neighborhood. It didn't matter. So the next question was, what made me choose dentistry? Okay, so what made me choose dentistry was the fact that I can work with my hands. Fun fact, in my spare time at dental school, I crochet blankets and stuff. Look, yeah. But anyways, I crochet. A lot of my classmates started skating. I think I want to go buy some skates. I'm trying to save my money. But yeah. To relax before school started, I went horseback riding in the rainforest. Well, it wasn't a rainforest, but it was a forest, and it was raining, so it's a rainforest. Also, I like to binge watch shows, and also I eat. I like to eat. So if you're ever in Nashville, if you come for your interview and you want to talk to me, all you gotta say is, let's go get some food. So I like to work with my hands, as well as I wanted to be in a field that allowed me to be an entrepreneur, on my own business. I do co-own a business with my mom called Customs Connection already, where we make custom tees, puzzles, phone cases, t-shirts, of course, whatever you want, like anything custom, we can make it. I also wanted to do something which allowed me to just be able to talk to people, because I do have anxiety real bad, but I just like being around people. I don't like being in a cubby, like behind a desk. I have to be doing something. I have to be getting up and moving, and yeah. Also, the last reason why I wanted to do dentistry is because what I take and pride myself in the most is my smile, period. But and so I wanted others to be able to take that same pride in themselves, and one way to do that is to make sure that they have beautiful teeth. I believe that confidence starts from within, but if you can, and looking in the mirror and being pleased with yourself. But a lot of people, when they look in the mirror, they're not pleased with themselves because of their smiles, and I want to be able to give people the confidence that I now have and foster that into their lives, so that they can feel confident when they're going into an interview or when they're talking to people conducting business, things of that sort. The next question was, when did I apply? So again, I applied during my junior going to senior year summer. I took the DAT probably in like August. By the time that I took my DAT, I had already had everything into my application. So I had my transcripts, my letters of recommendation, things of that sort was already sent out, and just the only thing that was waiting was my DAT. So my application was already sent out by August and September, like, because the earlier you send it in, the earlier you get the interview, faster you could just relax and leave it in their hands. Second time applying was, I think my application didn't get sent in until like September, because it was around my birthday. I took the DAT like a couple days after my birthday. Application process. So the first things first, which takes the longest, transcripts. Of course, during COVID, you might want to do that because you never know how long anything will take nowadays. So you get transcripts going. Also send out your letter of recommendation request to your professors. Now, before you do that, I would recommend that you just hit them up, email them like, hey, I'm going to be applying for this. I would really love if you could do this. This is the date that I need it by. Always give them like maybe 10 days before the actual deadline of when you want to submit it, so that way because some of them, like, they have a lot going on, and they may forget, and so you'll just remind them, and they'll get it done probably a couple days after you tell them. But I would send it out to them probably a month or two before I went. I'll give it 2 months and then let them do it. Come back a month later and just say, hey, don't forget this is due, blah, 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 blah. Do you need anything else from me? Just to make sure that they have everything. And when I send when I ask for recommendations and they say, yes, I'll do it, go ahead and send my personal statement as well as my resume so that they'll know just basic information about me. They've worked with me, so they already know me, but just in case they needed a little assistance or forgot all of the things that I have done and maybe done things with them, they'll have it for their reference. So yeah, go ahead and get your transcripts, your recommendations out. Enter in all of the information that you can. I would recommend writing any question that you submit on the application, just writing the answer to that, because sometimes some of the questions are repeated in the supplemental essays. And so if you already have that answer written out and all you have to do is just copy and paste it, I would do that. Saves you time in the long run. And for some reason, my stuff just always getting deleted off everything. Like this video. This is my second time shooting this video. So just have the Word document for your answers saved, and you'll just be able to refer back to it as well. So then after I had all the recommendations, the transcripts, entered in all my information, answered the questions, waited for an interview for different schools. My interviews ranged from like, well, sometimes you can pick the date, sometimes they give you like 2 dates to choose from. Sometimes you can go from October, November, December, January, wherever. For me, I wanted to go ahead and get out the way, and I wanted to make sure that I allowed myself the grace to, if I was going to be accepted, that they can send it out to me on December 1st and not have my interview after that, because I don't like waiting. I think Meharry didn't accept me on December 1st. They didn't send out their stuff on maybe probably December 11th, December 15th, something like that. I was on the first wave pool, so I was like, yeah, girl, going to dental school. After I got accepted to Meharry, you couldn't tell me nothing, because your girl, God willing, is going to be a dentist, okay? Like, any other schools were calling, like, interviews. I was like, I've already been accepted to Meharry Medical College, but I do appreciate you, because I already knew this is, when I came to interview, I felt like home, I felt welcome and invited. So this is where I wanted to be. This is where I'm going to be. Don't do that, because what I didn't realize was if I would have took the interviews for the other schools and got accepted, like, their tuition probably was maybe been a lot cheaper, and so later on down the line it's something for you to think about. But for me, I was like, yeah, you ain't got to say no more. I'm on the way, Meharry. I'm on the way. What's needed to apply? So like I said, letters of recommendation, your transcripts, community service, at least 100 community service, 100 hours of shadowing. Shadowing could be, I did it in the programs that I went to. I just make sure I wrote it down. We did shadowing of dental students. I did shadowing of general dentist. I would get as much exposure to the field of dentistry as you can, not just shadowing your parents or family. I would make sure that it's people outside of that you already know, like, as well, and different specialties, because you're just getting exposed to dentistry as a whole and not just one aspect, because you want to be just exposed to different aspects of it. So 100 hours there. And I did also do clinics for the underserved populations as well. We had this thing in North Carolina called North Carolina Missions of Mercy, the mom clinic. We was out there probably like 5 o'clock in the morning until like 4 o'clock the next day. Like probably later than that, honestly. I forget. But literally, it's insane how many people are not getting the oral health care that they need and should be getting, because of maybe they don't have the funds, or like insurance isn't covering it, or you never know the case. You know, lack of access to the care. You know, you just never know. When you're writing your personal statement as well, oh, you need that too. But when you're writing your personal statement, you want to be able to speak about different experiences you've had and how they have shaped you, and letting you know that dentistry is where you want to be, or what, you know, influenced you. And so for me, I wrote about when I went to the clinics and seen like what I saw. Seeing what I saw, because it had an effect on me. I'm not sure it will have the same effect on you, but you want to write about what you've been through and what others have been through around you and what you've been exposed to. That's what, for me, creates a strong personal statement. Preparation for the DAT. So I had a, give me 1 second. Wait, you want me to do what?
So you can show me out in the film then.
You gonna show your face?
No, ma'am. I'm just gonna say, ooh, Is the man in the suit?
This is Victoria, y'all. This is my friend. This is my first friend in dental school. The next question everybody was asking about was, of course, the DAT. So let's get into it. The DAT, I've already told you when I applied for it. I told you that I took Kaplan, that I did DAT boot camp, and I did the UMKC STAR summer program for about 2 weeks, which helped to boost my organic chemistry, right? So whenever you're studying for it, make sure you block out time for you to study. So the first time I was taking classes, working a job, and studying while doing community service, volunteering, all of that, and it was too much. I wasn't able to put in enough time into it. The second time I took the DAT, I actually blocked out 2 months, wasn't working or nothing, and studied and applied myself. Right? Of course, it didn't reflect on my grade or my average because I got the same thing. But let's talk about why I got the average that I got this first time. I think what got me my second time was, one, I didn't have the confidence that I had the first time. Because first time I was like, I already know this. Like, I don't got to study that much. Like, whatever. That was just the whim. Like, I didn't study that much for the first time, obviously. Second time, I actually studied and got the same score. But why is that? It's because if I studied too much of one topic, I was so worried about organic chemistry that's what I wanted to study. And although I did increase my score in that, my other scores throughout the other areas did not increase. Some of them were stagnant. I think I was fatigued. And because I didn't take any practice tests, the first time I took a practice test and I was like, okay, cool. Second time I didn't take any practice tests. And also while taking the exam, science comes first. I'm like organic chemistry. I'm like, whew, like I just bombed that. Like I did so terrible. So my mindset for the rest of the time I was taking the exam, I'm just like, might as well just like whatever. Like I just did so terrible. Like this is a waste of time at this point. Of course, I didn't know that while I was taking the exam that my score for organic chemistry increased by 3 points. And so the rest of the time in taking the exam, because my mental was not where it needed to be, I was not focused, and I didn't have the confidence that I needed in order to do well in the other areas, I just kind of slacked off, and it showed. I would recommend taking practice tests before you start studying so you'll know exactly what you need to focus on, as well as not focusing too much on that. So still give the other areas some love, and do a practice test maybe like a couple weeks before you're about to take the DAT and another week before, just so that you can get used to in your mind taking the exam. DAT Bootcamp actually, at the time that I was using it, had an app for perceptual ability, which allowed me to, like, whenever I'm studying, instead of being on social media, I was using the app to do like cube counting. Kaplan assisted, of course, like I said, with finesse and tricks. So it taught me, as far as like when cube counting came, it showed me, okay, you should do this method because you'll be able to count this cube and count the ones behind it, and it'll save you time, and you'll know that, okay, I've already counted everything in this column, let's go to the next. Was how long did I study for the DAT? About 2 months the second time. Oh, but one, Shantae Reed, which is the Black Dental Students and Pre-Dental Students Instagram page, I believe that's what it's called. She's the owner of that, and she showed me how to block my schedule. So remember I said take a practice test. When you take the practice test, you see what areas need the most work in, and so the ones that I did the most, I like to wake up and get started, and that's when I have the most energy. So 8 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock, whichever time you wake up, the first thing I'm going to study is the one I had the most difficult problem with. At the end of the day, I'm not going to say save the easiest for last, but save the one where you kind of know what's going on, you just need to keep refreshing yourself. I would save that for last because you kind of get burnt out towards the end of the day, and it helps you to write down on your different blocks what topics you study for each subject, so that way you'll know, okay, I've studied this, I need to go on to the next topic for that subject. It's a great way to keep track of what you're studying so that you don't overstudy something and neglect other areas that need your concentration. Have a plan of how you're going to study, and not just for like that day or that week, but have it for the entire 2 months. So that way you'll know, okay, have your practice test planned out, and have like whenever you go, because you can do practice tests for different subjects as well. You don't have to take the entire practice test. So I'll study one subject and then go heavy on it, and then maybe like 2 weeks later do a practice test for that to see how I've advanced myself. So I would do that. Practice tests come with the DAT bootcamp. Kaplan has practice tests as well. How in high school to prepare for the DAT? I'm not sure if you attended a school that had like prep programs. So my school had IT, I believe medical or something like that, or and then engineering. I would suggest if you go to those schools, of course, gear yourself towards medical and or like pre-med or pre-dent, and then join any clubs or organizations that they may have for those programs. So that way you can just immerse yourself in the healthcare field. Also, I would go ahead and just get in the spirit of doing community service. Start making the connections that you need in order to be successful. Could you be a dentist with a GED? Baby, if you can get into a 4-year college or community college in order to take the classes that you need in order to apply, then yes, you can, because that's all you need. As long as you have your correct documentation, able to produce your transcripts, and have your recommendations, do well in DAT, you good money. So someone asked about requirements for, it says classes, your letters of recommendation, and when to send those out. So like I told you before, make sure you send them out ahead of time. Give your people that is making the recommendations, give them enough time to do it, maybe like at least a month, and then remind them maybe like a week before the deadline that you give them, not the actual deadline, and just use that method and you should be fine. Did you have to be a dental assistant in order to be accepted? You do not have to be a dental assistant. You do not have to have any like, professional experience in the field of dentistry in order to be a dentist. It may help you on your application being an assistant, a hygienist, but it won't hurt you to not have it. A lot of my classmates were dental assistants and dental hygienists, so they came in already knowing different stuff and were able to show us how to take the radiograph images. They already had a foundation of knowledge, and so some of the things we struggle with, they already had the concept of and already were familiar with terms, techniques, things of that sort. So it definitely assisted them. If you didn't get into dental school your first time, just make sure that it's something you're doing something to immerse yourself in the healthcare field, so that way you can be as well-rounded as possible and just keep getting different experiences. Healthcare as a whole, if you're able to tie in different aspects of like maybe behavioral health or oral health care, if you're able to tie in different things like that, that'll definitely strengthen your personal statement in your candidacy for dental school. What are the years and processes of dental school? Generally, people finish dental school within 4 years. And then after you graduate, you can go to a specialty program if you want to specialize in maybe like periodontics, or you want to be an orthodontist or things of that sort, or you can get do a general practice residency. Moving to Nashville, it was kind of expensive. I saved up some money, but then you have to think you're coming to an entire new city, new state. So I don't like to drive. My mama don't either. So my uncles drove my car up here with the U-Haul with my life's worth of belongings. They drove that up here, and me and my mom flew. So we had to have money for that. When we got here, we had to have furniture. A lot of stuff, some people like was just given to me. Like, I don't know, I'm just very blessed. People see you doing well, and people see you trying to do something with your life. They don't mind helping. So I'm very grateful for the village that I have. You have to pay bills. If this is your first time moving out by yourself, because like you've hardly been living on campus. So in my scholarship, I had to live on campus. So this is my first time being in a new place by myself, and I'm in a different state. So I had to realize, like, girl, you got to pay for your electricity. You got to pay your rent. For me, when I get my financial aid and stuff, go ahead and pay the rent up to the next time I get my financial aid. So there's nothing I got to worry about. So you got that. And then Wi-Fi. I like my Wi-Fi to be speed lightning, so I buy my own Wi-Fi. It's just like little stuff that adds up. Then food, you always got to keep emergency food. You never know what's going to happen. So you want to make sure you have enough funds and are able to take care of your funds as well too. My advice for that is to just stack and save. Someone asked, what is the hardest thing about my first year? The hardest thing about first year is, this first year has just been difficult because the coursework, like the curriculum, has changed because they've now changed how we take our boards. We don't take it in 2 separate installments. We take it in 1 installment. So that changed the curriculum a bit. Not only that, we had to work with COVID. Not only that, it's also just your first year. First year is always difficult. So we had that plus that plus that, and child, I am tired, boss. But I would say the most difficult thing was staying focused, because it's very difficult to be on a computer and not being around people and just being motivated. It's just different being at home and just looking at a computer screen, and it's just like, whew, it's draining. Somebody asked about new friends in a new city. Whew. So it just so happened that when I first got here, I was here alone, bored, and somebody put in the group me, hey, let's go get drinks. And I said, let's go. And I met with a couple of my classmates, and then I just kind of clicked with this girl Victoria. That's who she called. I thank God that it was somebody that likes to explore new cities. Thanks to her, like, I was able to experience Nashville. Nashville has like a lot of rooftops and bars and things of that sort, which she always put me on. So just get you a friend and like to be out, because they're gonna know all the hidden places to go to, all the good eats and stuff like that. I don't think it was difficult, because she was really welcoming, and a lot of my classmates are really welcoming and inviting as well. And so it's not difficult to make friends with them. It's just difficult because we can't do anything. And then the new city, you know, everything was shut down, and then after, like, it started opening up a bit, then stuff started staying open later. So I'm still exploring Nashville. I said all that to say I'm still exploring Nashville. Gonna keep exploring Nashville because things are opening up daily. Someone asked, what was a scary experience? This whole thing for me was scary because my school, depending on who's driving, is about 45 minutes to an hour away from my home, like my actual home. So I've never been too far away from my mama or my grandparents, or my little sister. Like, if I would go, like, when I went to University of Florida, it was 6 weeks. That's the longest I've ever been, like, away. And I've been gone like 8 weeks at a time, but never for months. It was scary to be out on my own and just becoming an adult and actually being responsible for myself. But I think I did the thing, okay? Yeah. Life is all about new experiences. What do I wish someone would have told me? I wish that someone would have told me, like I said before, that I didn't have to major in biology, because again, I would have did maybe like business management, so I want to own my own dentist office, or probably education, or just like art or music, just something to tap into my creative side. Of course, nobody did tell me that, so that's why I told y'all. What is the most valuable thing that I've learned since starting school? The most valuablest thing that I've learned with a T, since starting school, and this is like personal, academic wise, you know, all of the above, is to believe in yourself, because you can do anything that you put your mind to. Always believe in yourself, even if, and I'm not saying the people around you may not believe in you, but even if they may question it, or you may question it yourself, you can do it. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. So that's just period. We're gonna leave it at that. And sometimes you just gotta show yourself. You gotta shock yourself, baby. They say shock the world, baby. I'm trying to shock myself. Okay, then that's what we're gonna do. What is the thing that I'm looking forward to when I start working? Honestly, I just can't wait for people to leave my chair and have like this pretty, beautiful smile and confidence. Like, I literally can't wait. I follow celebrity dentists on my page. Some of them, they do like cosmetic work, but it's for regular people like me, like you know what I'm saying? And they walk out of there with $1 million smiles. Like, I just follow other people also so that I can just see what I want. They're where I want to be. So if I'm watching them, that just gives me constant motivation to continue doing what I'm doing. And so watching them and looking at how they, you know, interact with their patients and how their patients leave their chairs is what motivates me. That's what I'm looking forward to. I can't wait to change people's lives, for real. Somebody asked what I do in my free time. We going skating tonight. But yeah, my free time, like I said, I crochet, binge watch shows. About to start skating. I'm gonna get my skates, for real. Someone asked tips to give to aspiring people in the dental field. So my tips to give you all would be, 1, stay focused and believe in yourself. The second tip would be to work hard, play hard. So you need to work hard, so when it's time to go out, you can play even harder and feel rewarded for all that you've done. My third tip, don't be scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared to go out, do community service, volunteer. Don't be scared, and I'm saying scared like SCED, scared. Don't be scared to be around your peers. Scared to be involved in school. Don't be scared to apply for scholarships. Don't be scared to be yourself. Don't be scared to interact, meet new people. Don't be scared. Don't be scared to move to a new city. Don't be scared of dental school. Don't be scared of that first year. Don't be scared of that DAT. Don't be scared of nothing. Okay? Because if you ain't scared, then you can do it. You got it. If I can do it, you can do it. Promise I'll get better at this. This is my first time. If y'all want to leave me feedback about how I can improve my video, if y'all want to give me more questions, if y'all want different topics, you want me to go more in detail on different topics, if y'all want to see me do DIYs, if y'all want to see me post skate videos, crochet videos, whatever you want, just let me know. I believe that I am going to start doing this more often, just so that you can get and just an in-depth look at me throughout this journey to being a dentist and beyond. Everybody's journey is different, so just come along with mine. Be graceful, and yeah, be patient with me. I apologize that it took so long for y'all to get this video, but hopefully I dropped some great things to help you out. And again, feel free to DM me anytime.